Yeah, you already know what it is, man. Your boy Frank, you know, Making Entertainment, TrapTV.com, and I'm here with my man, Ron Peasley, Ron Paul, you know what I'm saying? Out here working hard and all that, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you got the Hartford Whalers gear on, you know what I'm saying? You represent for your team.
Yeah, we're going to do it for Hartford, man.
Represent for Hartford right now, man.
Yeah, you know, I had to throw it on, you know, when out-of-state niggas watch, they can see what it is. I'm coming from Hartford and shit. So, we're going to rep Hartford all the way to the top and shit. That's how we're going to do it. And shit.
So, I've been hearing about Ron Paul, this, that. Who the fuck is Ron Paul? Like, what are you bringing to the game? Who the fuck is Ron Paul? I'm hearing you on mixtapes, you on Big Mike mixtapes, you on fucking Superstar J mixtapes, White Out mixtapes. Like, who's Ron Paul? Why are these DJs fucking with you? Like, what is it about you? You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, to me, to get well, they fuck with me. To keep it 100, it's about business and stuff. So, but my job has always been, when I watch the game and shit, is just to make sure the music get out there, however and shit. So, but as far as Ron Paul, obviously it's me and shit. So we just, you know, I'm just out there grinding, getting it out so everybody can see what's going on and shit. So when I get calls like from Miami and upstate New York, Rochester and all over, you know, that just makes me proud. So I'm just repping and shit, holding it down while we do this shit, you know. At the end of the day, it's for my family, but we're gonna do it for Hartford. I feel like it's a burden not to have Hartford on, so I'm pushing hard to get Hartford on and shit. So, you know, that, to me, Hartford is Ron Paul, and Ron Paul is Hartford and shit at the end of the day.
Okay, so you definitely buzzing to Hartford. You know, I hear your name out there in Waterbury, New Haven as well. Yeah. Even up in some parts of Mass and shit. You know what I'm saying? So how important is it to you to get popping like in the whole New England? Like, what's your plan to bring the New England together? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Bring them together. I don't know you can bring everybody.
I'm not saying bring them together. I'm as far as bring them together to endorse your movement. Like, you know, as far as consumers.
You know, when niggas see it, I mean, to me, consumers they got a choice. Either they gonna like it or they not gonna like it, or they could be middle ground on this shit. You know, it's essential to have them as far as anywhere, you know, to have a fan base. But my main concern has always been like reaching out to different areas, not just focusing on Hartford as far as getting the music out there. So if I can have fans in New York, New Jersey, and motherfucking Mass and Connecticut or wherever the music, you know, the mixtapes is bigger than just one town as far as like the radio is concerned. When you get played in Connecticut, it's only heard in Connecticut. But mixtapes, that shit goes all over and shit. So it's always important to me. The main focus always been just putting the music out on the mixtapes and giving people the opportunity in other areas to hear the music and stuff. But I've never been focused on Connecticut or just one area. It's always been, let me go to New York, get the mixtapes out there, and saturate that market. And as far as wherever it goes, it lands and shit, that's how we do it and shit. You know, as far as picking up fans is concerned.
Okay. So basically, your form of attack to get your buzz up has been mainly the streets.
Yeah.
What makes you prefer the streets? Or how can I put this? What makes you prefer the streets over like saying trying to get on the radio station? You know what I'm saying? Like, what makes you prefer to get on the streets and like get on these mixtapes and get on like put DVDs and things like that instead of like, you know, attacking the radio more, the net more? Like, what's your whole take on that situation?
Well, coming out of Connecticut, the only radio station we have out here is Hot 93. I look at what works and what doesn't work. When I was coming up and shit and watching G-Unit, Max B, Uncle Murder, and Papoose, I said to myself, like, damn, all these niggas got a buzz because they was on niggas' mixtapes and shit. Yeah. So if it can work for them and it can work for anybody else, it just depends on how hard you're gonna go. I felt as though you couldn't be on just one DJ mixtape and do it. It ain't, I won't say it haven't been done because Uncle Murder did it that way, but I always feel like, yo, let's get on everybody else's mixtape and shit. And my back in the day, the main focus was like, yo, I hope Big Mike put it on his mixtapes and shit, because he was the biggest one and shit. So, you know, the radio, it's just, if you get played on Hot 93, you only heard in Connecticut. The only way I felt the radio station may help any artist coming up is if you got on Hot 97 and shit, because that shit will trickle down to everywhere. That's like the number one radio station in the country and shit. So you know, that was always important. If you could get that, then you good. But coming up, you're not gonna get that. I haven't seen no artists bypass the mixtapes and get on the radio and blow up unless they was signed. You know, radio station to me is mainly for like artists with deals and shit. It's not for up-and-coming artists. The up-and-coming artists, you gotta grind it out, and then if the radio station recognize you, then they'll play you. But you're not gonna be some unknown nigga just get on the radio station with no deal or nothing and just get a buzz. They not. I never seen that. If it happened, then I don't know it. I never seen the shit. So I just go by what I seen at work. What's the most affordable way that I could do it and shit. It worked for Max, Uncle Murder, Pat Pooch, Jeezy, and all of them niggas, then it could work for anybody. But at the end of the day, your music gotta be what the consumers like at the end of the day. But to me, it's a market for any artist coming up and shit. It's not just for one artist. I can't go by my standards and shit, so. You know, so if you're gonna grind it out, then you can get up there and shit.
Okay. You got a couple of big features throughout your career, man. You name them to the people, let them know you've been working with.
You know, I got the Max B before you went to jail and shit. We was in the studio and we did that.
Yep.
Fucking Uncle Murder. Did that one. I shot up to New York to do the song with him. What else I did it with? I did a Mac Miller joint and shit, but that was before he blew up and shit. So, you know, I had that. As far as they more lesser known, A Mafia and Ransom and shit did that one, but
yeah, you
know, to me, one of the biggest songs, I say the biggest song I ever did had to be the song with Max B. You know, that to me was like, you know, 10,000, 5,000 views on YouTube, the downloads, 30,000. It was all over the websites and shit. So that was, you know, that was the biggest one for me.
You got Fred the Godson too, right?
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. I did that one with Fred the Godson and shit. And motherfucking, yeah, I shot up to New York to do that one with him too and shit. So yeah, about like 6 features and shit since the span of 5 years and shit. So I mean, still contemplating on working with other artists.
You did a lot compared to some other artists. You know what I'm saying? You out here working, you're still growing. Still climbing to the next level, and that's good. You know what I'm saying? You got the momentum going right now. You want everything moving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How many mixtapes you got out right now?
I only got 3, and that's crazy when I think about it. 3 mixtapes in the span of 5 years. But to me, I'm not about to put out like 5 mixtapes and shit and just try to oversaturate the market. It's not gonna work that way. If I'm gonna oversaturate it, it's just gonna be with 1 mixtape. So the most I got out there so far was the Campaign for Liberty mixtape that put out like 10,000 on the streets, but not just in New York and Connecticut. I done sent it to people out in California, fucking Texas, Indiana, Detroit, Chicago, which probably like over 10 states and stuff. So, and I probably would be still pushing that one if I ain't had a Blackout mixtape right now, but I feel go to Blackout better than the last one. So
yeah, that's your latest project.
Yeah, the Blackout one. Yeah. And so
that's what's up, man. We here Hip Hop Crack DVD. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Frank Nino and my man Ron Paul.
As you see.
And he just broke down to who he is, what he means to the game, what he's bringing to the game, where he's from and all that, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying, make sure you go look for his music. Tell them where they can find your shit at.
Man, if you in a mixtape spot, make sure them niggas got that shit. If they don't have it, then they got a fucking problem and shit. You know, you can make sure you get it at my boy Deuce at Celebrities and shit. That nigga done gave out probably like 5,000 at his store. Nah, he got out like 1,000 and shit. So you can make sure you get it there. And, you know, wherever they sell, especially in New York and Connecticut, you can get it at the mixtape spots. You could go online and get it on live mixtapes and DatPiff and Mixtape Turn, but that's only if you don't internet niggas. I'm only focused on the street, so I want you to get a physical copy. Also, you can go to mixunit.com and get a copy from there and shit. Yes, you'll get a free copy and shit if you buy like 2 free mixtapes off of them and shit. So
that's what's up, man. How we gonna do it, man?
All right, good luck,
TrapTV.com, Hip Hop Crack 1.